Making winning ads in 2025 has never, ever been easier thanks to the use. You got it. AI. I bet you've heard that one before. And while that is kind of true, it's also not untrue. You know, AI is not going to do all the work for you here, but we have devised a simple 4-step plan to make sure your creators are winning this year. You see, because creating ads is not only about whipping up some nice creators, good copy with some tidy design, it's all about strategy, researching and testing, but creative is key. So when it comes to breaking it down, we have devised a 4-step guide which is bulletproof for you guys to use in order to create winning ads. And yes, it does incorporate ChatGPT to make your life easier. What I should also mention, if you're new here, you can collect a free guide from the description. There's a link in the description on creating winning ads in 2025. Absolutely free. It's basically this video but more comprehensively, and you don't have to listen to me for however long this video is going to be. So I really do highly recommend that you download it if you do just want to grab it and go. But this video is going to drop a few knowledge bombs on you. So here's how it's going to go, right? Step 1 is understanding customer psychology, right? Number 2, market research. This is where ChatGPT comes into effect, right? Then we're going to continue with ChatGPT by choosing winning formats. And the final step, testing creatives. Yes, you would have definitely heard about this one. But before we dive in, I do want to quickly mention 2 very important points, right? Number 1 is most people online are using ChatGPT the wrong way, right? It's not about replacing your videographer, your photographer, your graphic designer, at least not yet anyway, right? Give it a couple of years and that may be the case, but that's not what we're going to be teaching in this video. This video is going to be teaching you how to use ChatGPT as a tool for research, right? And doing the laborious, repetitive tasks, such as market research, which, unless you're a freak, we all hate, okay? And that's completely fine. We're allowed to hate parts of the job, you know, and testing different formats for the ads, right? It means instead of going straight into an expensive photo shoot, you can use AI to generate multiple variations of your product, different angles, etc., lighting setups, props and backgrounds, right? And it allows you to just stick to the fun stuff. In this way, you'll be able to A/B test your visuals like very early on, and by the time you go for a photo shoot, you'll know like what angles and styles look best. Like if you don't get what I'm saying like get AI to create angles, test them, be like, this works, let's get a professional photo shoot done of it, okay? So it's just about basically using them to test and then scaling from there, right? The second most important point is AI tools like ChatGPT only work as well as the prompts that you give them. And I'm sure you've seen this online, like people saying it is all about the prompts, and there's like masterclasses on this that you should go and watch, but I will give you a few pointers throughout this video just to ensure that you are prompting ChatGPT as effectively as you can to ensure that you are maximizing. Think of it as like hiring a new person for your team. You need to be clear and specific with them. Your communication is vital in order for them to understand the task and to get the job done properly, right? That is exactly how you need to treat AI, like a new employee. This is understanding customer psychology, right? We need to understand what drives humans to make purchases, right? And before we begin to create any ads, we need to understand what actually drives them to click on an ad in order to purchase that product, right? There are 3 main desires that humans care about, right? Health, wealth, relationship. Your ads need to help them achieve one of these desires from a single core message, right? Not more than one. The goal is to move them towards pleasure or resolve pain, okay? So let me give you an example. An electric toothbrush, right? This focuses on the health desire. Okay, the core messaging of the product is that it provides better dental hygiene, prevents cavities, and improves overall health, whatever, right? The main goal is to resolve a pain. The second thing you need to be aware of is the 5 stages of awareness, and without knowing the awareness level of your audience, it's like shooting a dart blindfolded, right? You know, who are you targeting? The unaware, the problem aware, solution aware, product aware, or most aware, okay? Now let me explain each stage using the electric toothbrush example, okay? Unaware. An unaware person would be asking, I brush my teeth every day. That's enough, right? Why would I need anything more than a manual toothbrush? They don't realize that there's a problem or there's a better way to do it, right? So this would be highlighting something like, did you know your manual toothbrush misses out on 50% of plaque compared to your electric toothbrush, okay? Problem aware. This is a person who is, you know, they're aware of the problem, but they don't know how to resolve it, right? So why do I still have plaque even though I brush every day? When I go to the dentist, he says I'm not cleaning my teeth properly. He sends me to the hygienist. Is there something wrong with my technique? Blah, blah, blah. They start to sense a problem, but they don't know the solution yet, right? So then we have the solution aware, which this is where a person would be asking like, would an electric toothbrush clean better than a manual one? Or like, what do dentists recommend when it comes to oral health? And they're exploring the possible solutions to their problem. They just haven't committed to a product yet, right? So then we move to the most aware, right? A most aware person would ask, is it the best time to buy? What if I don't like it? Can I return it? How fast can I get it delivered? You know, these sort of questions. Basically, they're ready to buy, they just need a little nudge. They just need something that is going to reassure them into the purchase. Then lastly, you have product aware. A product aware person would be asking, what makes this brand better than others? Does this have good reviews? Is it worth the money compared to other options? You know, they know your product, but they're at the stage where they're comparing it to other brands before they make a final decision. So it's crucial to identify your customer's stage of awareness, because if you don't, your message isn't going to connect, right? So for example, you might be talking about the benefits of an electric toothbrush, but if the person seeing your ad doesn't realize they have a problem with their existing toothbrush or their like dental routine, then they're not going to care, because they don't know the problem exists. You have to agitate the problem and then provide the solution in that case. Step number 2 is market research, right? And yes, this is where we can use a little bit of AI to take the boring, laborious tasks off of our plate. Everyone knows it's vital to understand the market in which your brand operates in, okay? So we divide this into 3 key areas, right? And I'm going to start with current performance. It's time to start looking at the data. Well, we'll see what's working and what's not. Pull up your Facebook ad accounts and review the performance of the last 30 days. Identify the creatives, messages and formats, like videos, static, UGC, carousel, whatever. What performed best? You know, analyze the past 7 days. Are your top ads still performing well? You know, if performance is dropping, it could be ad fatigue. Compare both time frames to one another, the 30-day and the 7-day. You know, are the same creators winning, or have the new ads taken over at this point? Is it time we start to refresh the old ones which were winning and they're now dropping off, okay? Then you need to analyze the performing ads by asking yourself these 4 key questions. Is the CPM higher than usual? Do you have enough creative variance? What's the hook rate? Are people engaging within the first 3 seconds? And what's the hold rate? Are viewers sticking around, or are they dropping off like that? And then after you've analyzed top performing ads, it's crucial to note down what is working so that you can double down. But how do you find out what is working? Write down what hooks, captions and formats are working best, right? If UGC is performing better than branded ads, then just double down and create similar styles. There's no need to reinvent the wheel here, right? Test your video edits, you know, try different editing styles, like fast-paced, on-screen text, like, you know, try little things just to try and boost engagement. You might try something, it decreases engagement, and then you know, okay, actually we're not going to try that, so let's try something else to try and increase it, okay? Step 3 is experiment with video types, right? So if your static images are consistently outperforming your video, adjust your storytelling, your platform strategy. You know, is video performing better on one platform than another? What are you doing differently? And just, you really need to understand how your audience operates on these different platforms. And then step number 4, like I said, review if current winners are still converting, or if they're showing signs of ad fatigue. You know, you will need to refresh your top ads. They're not going to stay winning forever, so it's important that you stay on top of that. So second in our market research phase, we have competitor research, right? After analyzing your current performance, we move to the second area, which is competitor research. Okay, you're gonna need to research your competitors' ads to see what styles are working in the market within your niche, and to learn how we can improve our own ads, right? So step 1 is go to the Facebook ad library, search for your competitors, you know, all of the brands, right? You need to go under all brands in all countries, okay? And then just assess what they're doing by following these 4 key things, right? The volume, how many creators are they testing? Formats, what different formats have they used? You know, images, videos, carousels. The ratio of formats, what's the balance? Is it 90% video, 10% static? Like, see what they're doing, okay? And then if they're using UGC style, like what kind of user generated content are they using? Like, is it very casual? Is it polished? Is it heavily scripted? And yeah, we'll show a few examples here up on screen just so you can sort of see the different types of ads. Okay, by the way, if you are completely bored of hearing me speak, you can download this absolutely free, a more comprehensive version of this in a guide format so you can read it whenever you want. It will absolutely help you create winning ads in 2025. Click the link in the description. So I said about using ChatGPT and integrating that into your workflow, and this is exactly where AI comes in. Okay, so what you can do is you're going to scrape reviews or comments and, you know, collect reviews of your competitors' products, and you can use tools like instant data scraper or just like go through Reddit threads or whatever, and then you're going to upload them into ChatGPT. Okay, feed that data into ChatGPT and ask what pain points keep coming up, what benefits are most mentioned, and what objections are stopping people from buying. Okay, and you can do the same for reviews of your own store. Obviously these are probably a little bit easier to scrape, but I'm going to share the prompt on screen right now, so take a screenshot and use that for your market research, and you can thank us later. I would just like to mention like a little pro tip here, like don't ask for numbers and stats, but you can ask for like a breakdown of users who expressed a similar pain point. Anyway, now we move on to the most crucial part of creating winning ads, which is writing ad copy. And this is another area where ChatGPT helps us massively, but only if it's used correctly. I cannot stress that enough, right? You cannot just be like, please write me a winning ad creative for this. I sell dogs. I don't know. That was a really bad example, but it's not a magician, right? It's not just gonna pluck something amazing out of thin air. You do have to prompt it exceptionally, right? So we're also not relying on it to write absolutely everything. We're simply using it for like inspiration and ideas. So just some key points to remember when you're using ChatGPT to help you write your ad copy is make sure you give like a very specific prompt. Okay, make sure it's detailed and clear, and give examples where possible. If you can plug in any examples, that will be absolutely so useful to this process, right? And also give any negatives on what you don't want it to do. It's you know, a lot of people forget about that. They tell ChatGPT exactly what they want it to do, but they forget to tell it what not to do, and it really is it is necessary to really baby this thing, you know, like we said about treating it like a new employee. You have to tell it what to do and what not to do. I'm going to put a prompt on the screen right here. This is what you should use. Moving swiftly on to number 3 is winning formats. You need to know how to choose the right formats, right? So there are 2 types of ad mediums, right? Static and video. Now, I mean, it doesn't take Einstein to know that, right? But your creative format can literally make or break your Facebook ad performance. So if you're launching new ads, test different formats just to see which provides better results and lower CACs. Like, these are 10 formats that you must try in order to help improve CAC and spend, right? And I'm just going to reel them off, right? They're going to come up on screen as well. News outlet, press style, right? Us versus them, feature showcase, testimonial ads, founders ad, UGC style, post-it note / whiteboard, statistic ads, social media proof, and before and after, right? If you do want to know a little bit more about those, you can download the free guide and it will tell you exactly what they are. But you could also just go and Google it if you really want to, but I do recommend that you download the guide. I'm not going to go into those, but you can use, again, ChatGPT to test the different formats, right? Here's the prompt on screen, so make sure you do utilize AI because it is going to improve your workflow so long as you use it correctly and you do treat it like a little newborn baby. So then lastly, it's all about testing creatives, and I know you've heard this one: test and iterate, test and iterate, test and iterate. It's a bit of a buzz phrase across all of marketing, to be honest, but I don't like joining the masses, but it is what is needed to be done when it comes to this, right? So you need to use primary and secondary metrics, right? So understand what to test. There are 2 main areas, right? Creative variations, such as like your headline, copy, offers, your CTAs, and then creative types, like the different types of formats, like video, static, carousel, hooks, visuals, and messaging, right? So use competitor research to guide which formats or hooks to test first, because like I said, there's no need to reinvent the wheel here. You can look at what other people are doing, look at brands that are performing really well and be like, well, this is working well for them. Why don't we try and implement that into our own strategy? Number 2 is to prioritize based on budget, right? How many tests should you run depending on your monthly budget is quite a common question that we get asked, right? And we normally always recommend these guidelines: under 6K a month, 1 to 3 tests, $6 to $30K a month, like 3 to 4 tests, and then 30K to like 250, 4 to 6 tests. Okay, that's your ad budget, obviously, I'm talking about. So focus on testing things with high impact and low production effort at first, like new hook, static formats, rather than being like, right, we've got to go out and film a new video, this one's not working. Yeah, just like go for the low hanging fruit. But step 4 is to track your primary metrics, you know, your performance KPIs. These tell you which creatives are profitable, basically, you know, the amount spent to see if enough budget was used, results, the number of purchases or conversions that an ad led to, the cost per purchase, you know, like it helps us determine our CACs and ROAS, which is obviously your return on ad spend. It basically just measures your profitability, like whether they are profitable or not. Step 5 is to monitor your secondary metrics, just to, you know, this is more for your like creative effectiveness, okay? So I would say the first one is to make sure that your money is going in the right places and to ensure that you're actually converting these into, you know, pounds in the bank account or dollars, wherever you're from, okay? But this is more to sort of refine your creative and ensure that we are evolving and we're picking winners and we are scaling them, right? So these explain like why an ad performed the way it did, okay? You can break it down through these 5 metrics, okay? Your frequency, you know, keep it to like less than 4 for retargeting, less than 3 for new users. CPM, high CPM may mean that your creative isn't engaging. Your hook rate, the percentage of people that watch the first 3 seconds, you know, are you actually hooking people as they scroll past your ad? Obviously, we all know the attention span of the average social media user is that. So you really need to ensure that you are hooking them. And then, are we holding them? That's the second one. You know, who stays throughout the video? Where are they dropping off? Is there a significant drop-off point? That could be an issue with your creative. Maybe remove that, swap it out with another bit. And then just the overall watch time. You know, they all tie in, okay? And these insights are going to be so useful to optimize your visuals, your hooks, your content length, the storytelling. So really do use them. But finally, it is just to optimize with variance, right? That kind of ties back to what we were saying about how you test creatives and, you know, how to begin with like this testing phase. Just create multiple versions of hooks, problems, solutions, CTAs, you know, using very similar creatives. Mix and match with like video and static, and then just use the winning parts to create new variants. Anyway, I really have tried to power through that as quick as I possibly could, because I know it can get a little bit boring, and we're always told very similar things, and I hope that this 4-step process kind of breaks it down for you. Like I said, I do highly recommend that you download the guide below. It's absolutely free. It will kind of just mean that you don't have to keep returning to this video. Do check it out. We are Formula. If you want to get in touch with us, if you have any issues with your ad strategy currently, we'd happily jump on a call and just look at things. There's no obligation. It won't be a sales pitch. We'd be happy to jump on a 30-minute call just to help you sort of understand things. And like I say, if you did want to take anything further, we would also be happy to have that conversation. But yeah, guys, the usual spiel. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and there is plenty more content coming your way. And yeah, peace.